Coming-of-age movies is a genre that many people connect to. Young audiences can directly relate to the characters' struggles and redemptions. Older viewers can connect with the adults in the film or treat the movies as a reflection on their teenage years. Some of the movies that fall into this genre are regarded by some as all-time classics. The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Stand By Me, and Clueless are just a few of these movies. In the early 2000s though, there was a steep decline in coming-of-age movies, as more raunchy teen sex comedies like American Pie and Road Trip took the spotlight for the young adult movie genre. Once 2010 rolled around though, one movie changed all of that. That movie is Easy A. In my opinion, Easy A single-handedly revived the coming-of-age genre and was the breakout role for one of the most successful actresses of the past decade. Let's take a look at it. Easy A follows high school student Olive Pendergast, played by Emma Stone, as she hosts a livestream retelling the events that have been happening to her the past few weeks at school. We find out she is struggling with all of her peers becoming sexually active while she hasn't had any interactions herself. She ends up lying to her best friend Rhiannon and saying she slept with a guy after a date that didn't even really happen. The school's Christian group leader, Marianne, played by Amanda Bynes, overhears this conversation and spreads the story around school. Before Olive has the chance to do anything about it, she is known as the school sleaze. She fully embraces the title, embroidering the scarlet letter signature A for adulteress on all of her wardrobe, and accepts money from guys so they can say they slept with her, even though they never really did. As the film progresses, Olive loses her best friend and learns she really just wants to be in a healthy relationship and step away from the role she has taken on. The movie ends with her getting together with her longtime crush, and presumably getting back together with her best friend Rhiannon. While Easy A is technically another teen sex comedy, this movie has what a lot of the early 2000s teen sex comedies did not, and that being a lot of heart. Throughout the film, we grow closer to Olive, connect with her internal battles, and want the best possible outcome for her. This type of story format pulls from some of the 80s coming-of-age movies, and is clearly aware of that as they are referenced heavily throughout the film. I mean, even the ending has a cover of Don't You Forget About Me, and Olive even directly references the films at one point in the movie.
I want John Cusack holding a boombox outside my window. I want to ride off on a lawnmower with Patrick Dempsey. I want Jake from 16 Candles waiting outside the church for me. I want Judd Nelson thrusting his fist into the air because he knows he got me just once.
Easy A also benefits heavily from having perfect tone, mostly coming from the great comedic moments throughout. Very few of the jokes miss for me, and that is due to the fact most of the humor comes from the banter between the characters, rather than a whole scene being used as a setup for a joke. Olive's parents, played by Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson, are massive bright spots when it comes to the jokes in this film. Every scene that they are in has at least one laugh-out-loud moment. Whether that be them acting shocked when their African-American son says that he is adopted at supper, or when picking out the bucket list for the family movie night.
Not to mention how you've been dressing the last few days. No judgment, but you kind of look like a stripper.
Mom?
A high-end stripper. For governors or athletes, but stripper nonetheless.
Oh my God, I'm just trying to mix it up a little.
While I personally think Olive's parents have some of the funniest moments in this film, they should not overshadow some of the other great characters that appear in this movie. Thomas Hayden Church, playing the laid-back, sarcastic teacher Mr. Thomas, has some great moments, and so does Amanda Bynes, playing the school's Christian group nutjob leader Marianne, who always inserts herself into everyone else's business.
Jesus tells us to love everyone. I mean, even the whores and the homosexuals, but it's just so hard.
These minor secondary characters work so well in the film because everything they say, especially Mr. Thomas, is clearly not what someone would probably say in real life, but more what personal thoughts would be running through their head. The style of writing for the characters keeps them grounded somewhat in reality, but also adds this little extra flair to always keep us as the audience on our toes for the next amusing thing they have to say.
If I read one more paper from one of your classmates who talks about how hot she is in the bathtub, her fake British accent, or is she still married to Ashton Kutcher, I'm gonna kill myself.
Outside of the comedy, the rest of the script is nothing short of fantastic. Writer Burt Royal never talks down to the audience and is okay with making high school characters more than just an attractive, vapid body to do things on screen. Every person in this movie plays a very specific role in the story, and every scene is a catalyst for moving the story forward. Even scenes that seem more random at the time, like Mr. Thomas talking to his wife, end up having a much bigger backstory as the film progresses, as we later find out she was cheating on him with Marianne's boyfriend. We also get a brief but necessary backstory on Olive's first almost kiss when she was in middle school. No scene in this film feels unnecessary, which I absolutely love, as so many movies suffer from adding way too much padding to make their runtime longer. With this great writing, I feel the payoff of Olive telling her story to the whole school, followed up by her riding off into the sunset on the lawnmower with Woodchuck Todd, fulfills the simple but perfect ending this story needed. So even though the structure of the story in this film is clearly nothing groundbreaking, it is a format that hadn't been visited all too often around this film's release. This allowed the film to take an old concept and format it into an updated script that is specifically geared towards a new target audience. Other hit movies at the time, like 2007's Superbad and 2009's Adventureland, which coincidentally both had the same director, started the general movement towards this format, but I feel Easy A really laid the groundwork for a lot of the teen romance coming-of-age movies that have come out over the past decade. Movies like The Spectacular Now, The Edge of 17, The First Time, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and The Way, Way Back all follow this comedic, quirky, heartfelt story very similar to Easy A, but with all their own fresh twists on the subgenre. All these movies are very effective in what they are trying to do, and were honestly a nice breath of fresh air for the film scene. I don't know about you guys watching this, but these specific types of movies always seem to hit me perfectly in my feelings and leave an impact on me that lingers long after the credits roll. I also don't think you can talk about Easy A without at least mentioning Emma Stone's performance. This was her first lead role in a movie, and she knocked it out of the park. She was just coming off starring as Jules in Superbad and Wichita in Zombieland. It was very clear she had a lot of potential at the time, but this role really launched her into becoming one of the best actresses of the 2010s. She has a fantastic performance in this film with her snappy line delivery and super expressive facial expressions that add to the character of Olive.
Shouldn't have had coffee 3 weeks ago. I'm just kidding.
Your Maine lobster with crab and seafood stuffing.
Oh, yum.
While I think Emma Stone would have still gone on to be a great actress if this film flopped, this gave her an even bigger boost of recognition. The year following this movie, she starred in the equally funny rom-com Crazy Stupid Love and the Oscar-winning The Help. Soon after that, she would go on to be nominated by the Academy for a role in Birdman in 2014 and end up winning Best Actress for La La Land in 2016. Emma Stone's performance in Easy A is probably the biggest reason why this film is so enjoyable, but it is so crazy to look back and think that this movie is probably one of the biggest moments in her acting career.
There's a higher power that will judge you for your indecency.
Tom Cruise.
Easy A is a movie that knows what it is and doesn't mind flaunting it. It is one of the best coming-of-age movies to come out in the 2000s, and I feel once more time has passed, it will be regarded as a classic in the same way some of the 80s movies in the similar vein are. It's funny, charming, quirky, and an all-around great story. This movie will always mean a lot to me, as it was one of my favorite films when I first started getting into movies. But regardless of my opinion of the film, it is very clear that the movie made a lasting impact on the decade of the 2010s. It played a huge role in reviving a dying subgenre, while also fully introducing us to Emma Stone as a lead actress. Well, now I guess I can finally make a video on Easy A off of my bucket list. I want to thank everyone for checking out my review of Easy A. If you enjoyed, subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment would be much appreciated. Also, feel free to follow my social media on screen and in the description. Have a good one, everybody.